Hi guys, so I thought I'd do a video on approach where I could generalize it somewhat and give you as much details as I can. So obviously approach is a huge subject and it can't all be put in one video, but I thought I'd attempt to just give you everything I can in one video. You can go look at other videos and look at things in other areas. So some of the terms you may not have heard of or don't understand, you'll have to go look them up somewhere else. But I just wanted to get to the core of approach and give you just as many details on it as I can. So, because I know this is a big issue. I mean, a lot of guys, really struggle with approach, especially in the beginning and even throughout. It can really be something that there's so many different ways to look at it, so many different components to it, that it can be a bit daunting. So I thought I'd give you just as much as I can on it right now. So first, I think I'd say, just in general, that really approach is about connection, and it's about emotional and energetic connection. So connecting emotionally with the woman. So how do you do that? So you do that by a number of different factors are in play here. So you do that by first being connected with yourself, right? So, and you do that by grounding. So grounding is very important. You want to be grounded in general, but you want to ground right before you walk up to a woman approach always. Or even during the approach, you want to be grounding so that you're stable, you're masculine. You want your energy low in your body, right? So you want to allow your energy drop into your legs, have it down in your stomach. It can be in your second chakra, just as long as your energy is low. You do not want your energy up high in your head. You don't want to be thinking. So ultimately, when you approach, you want to be in flow state, which means you're totally in your body and you're not thinking about what you're doing. As soon as you start thinking about what am I going to say next, what am I going to do next, well, then that's when it's not working. If that ever happens, just stop what you're doing and stop thinking about it. Feel your body, be grounded, and just say what comes naturally to you. Or don't say anything at all, because the connection isn't primarily determined by vocal communication. So what you say is of little importance. In fact, you can do approaches without saying anything at all. I mean, that takes a certain level of sophistication, but you can, because it's about the connection with the woman. And the connection comes from here, from the eyes. So back to where we were. When you're walking up to a woman, you want to ground first. You want to keep your energy low in your body. You want your heart to be open. So the energy here wants to be open so that you can take her in. You want to be able to make good eye contact with her. So, and good eye contact is not constant eye contact. People can get this confused. They think it means staring. It does not mean staring. It does not mean not looking away. It means in a relaxed way, looking into her eyes, and you can make a subtle connection with her with the eyes. And you look away every once in a while, you might look at something over her shoulder and then look back into her eyes, but you want to be connected while you're looking. So you should have a connection from the eyes, a connection from the heart, and a connection from lower down. So there's 3 connections going there with her, and you're connected to the earth, so you have a grounding. So that's at least 4 points of connection. At least those are the main ones. So you want all of that to be operating. And while you're practicing this stuff, try and practice one thing at a time. If you don't have any experience with any of these different things, if you go and try to do them all at once, you're going to be in your head and you're going to be thinking, and that's not going to work. So do one at a time, practice, rest between, sit and review, maybe get a journal and write down what happened, so that you can review what went on and learn from it. And also so you can track yourself. It's good to journal because you can track yourself. And when you go out and do some approaching, you write it down each time, then you'll see where you were and you'll see the progress you've made, which can help to motivate you. People, we all really have a habit of thinking the way it is now is the way it always was, and we kind of forget where we came from and think, oh God, you know, I'm not doing well, I haven't made any progress. But you probably have made progress if you've been doing it a while. So it's good to write it down so you can track it, and then you'll know you're making progress. So the connection. So you could walk up to a woman, just make good connection with heart, good connection with the ground, good connection with your eyes, good connection with the solar plexus, and you actually don't need to say anything. Now, that's fairly advanced. What you can do is say very little. You can just introduce yourself. This is one of the simplest and best ways to approach a woman, is walk up, put your hand out and say, hi, my name is James. She'll automatically either put her hand out and shake yours, or something will be off and, you know, she'll either reject you in some way or walk away. So you want to keep these things lined up, and then when you're connected to her, after you walk up, you can say the introduction, and then you want to drop into the moment. When you're grounded and you're in your body, it's really about embodiment. It's about being in your own body, and it's about being authentic with her. So if you have emotions that are coming up that you're trying to stuff down and get rid of, like fear or nervousness, that's not going to work. So if you're feeling fear, if you're feeling nervous, let it come up and feel it. This is one big mistake that guys make, is thinking they have to be a particular way, that they have to be confident, they have to be this, they have to not be feeling nervous, so they'll try to not feel nervous. But that's not really the road to authenticity. Then you're just trying to force yourself to not feel the way you feel, and you can't get rid of feelings. All you can do is bury them. So in the end, this isn't really going to work, or even at the moment. So if that comes up, if some emotions come up, if some fear or nervousness comes up, just call it out. Just say, you're so beautiful, I'm kind of nervous right now talking to you. So now it's out there, now you're being authentic. It really is about being connected and being authentic, because if you're not authentic, if you're pretending to be something you aren't, if you're using canned lines, if you're trying to bury your emotions, if you're trying to be suave, be cool, be the guy that she wants, if you're trying to be anything, or if you're trying to not be what you are, all of those things are inauthentic. And when you're inauthentic, it's going to make it very difficult, if not impossible, to make a connection. Connections come from authenticity. So it's better to be nervous, to say what you think is the wrong thing, to stutter, to make whatever mistakes you make. It's better to authentically make those mistakes and then talk to her the way you really are and be authentic about it. Because then when you're yourself, when you're who you really are, a connection can happen. And that's what has to be there. Because for a number of different reasons, but you have to have the connection with the woman, because really that's why you're approaching her in the first place, is so you can have a connection with her. That's the whole point. And you want an emotional connection, right? So maybe some guys, you know, are motivated mostly by sex. So that's a physical connection, but if you want that to be good, if you want that to be quality, you've got to have an emotional connection of some kind, or at least an energetic connection. That's for another video, though. So an emotional connection is really critical, especially if you're approaching and getting numbers, and it's somebody that you aren't going to talk to for very long, and maybe you're going to see again another time, or going to be texting. Then she'll remember you if you make an emotional connection with her. If you don't make an emotional connection with her, the odds of her really remembering you, bugs around here, there's a bee, the odds of her remembering you are much lower. So making that emotional connection is really important, and you can't make an emotional connection with somebody unless you're authentic about your own, it's a wasp actually, unless you're authentic about your own emotions. So, and to be authentic with her about them, you want to share them with her, but first you have to be authentic with yourself. You have to feel your own emotions yourself. And sorry, this wasp is really bothering me. You want to be authentic with yourself first, then you can be authentic with her. And the main connection that you're trying to make here is an emotional connection, and that means being authentic with her about your emotions and being authentic with yourself about your emotions first, and that way you can make a connection with her. So that's pretty much the basics of doing approach and the best way to do it. And check out my other videos for more details on a lot of these other subjects, and you can do some research on that. And remember to subscribe so we can keep bringing these videos, and you can comment, and please send questions. I really appreciate the questions.